As we grow older, the relationships we maintain should ideally become more meaningful. But what if some of the people closest to us are secretly draining our energy and negatively impacting our well-being? Are we unknowingly keeping toxic relatives in our lives? Today, we're exploring 6 relatives you may want to distance yourself from after turning 60. Trust me, number 5 will shock you. Maintaining healthy relationships is essential as we age, as our mental and physical health can be significantly influenced by the people we surround ourselves with. Some relatives, without realizing it, may be doing more harm than good. Let's dive into how certain family members can affect your life and why setting boundaries is key to maintaining your happiness and peace of mind. One type of relative to avoid after 60 is the constantly complaining relative. These individuals never seem to find joy, no matter how good things are going in their lives. They focus on what's wrong, and no matter how much you try to help or lift their spirits, it's never enough. Whether it's the weather, their health, or life in general, they always have something to complain about. They have a knack for emphasizing the negatives and making small inconveniences seem much bigger than they are. Spending time with these relatives can be emotionally draining. Their constant negativity creates an environment of stress and frustration, and over time, it begins to take a toll on you. Every conversation feels like an emotional burden, and their complaints can make you feel like you're walking on eggshells, never knowing when the next one will come. It becomes difficult to focus on anything positive in their presence, and their negativity can easily rub off on you, leaving you feeling down or overwhelmed. The key is to protect your peace. If you find yourself constantly drained by these relatives, it's crucial to set boundaries. Be honest and clear about your feelings. Let them know you understand they may have struggles, but constant complaining is unhealthy for both of you. You don't have to engage in every negative conversation. Limit your contact if necessary and make time for those who uplift you, not bring you down. As you age, prioritizing your mental and emotional health becomes even more important, so don't be afraid to step back from those who are always focused on the downside. Another type of relative you might want to avoid after 60 is the victim relative. These individuals constantly position themselves as the victim in every situation, always seeking sympathy from others. Whether it's their health, finances, or personal life, they are always enduring some hardship, and they rarely take responsibility for their circumstances. It's as if everything happening to them is someone else's fault, and they expect everyone around them to validate their struggles. The impact of having this kind of relative in your life can be significant. It creates an emotional burden, as you're constantly placed in the role of their emotional support system. You may feel like you're always helping them or listening to their problems, but it often feels like you're giving more than you're receiving. Their focus is on their own misfortunes, and they rarely show any interest in your life or well-being. Over time, this becomes exhausting, and you may feel drained as they pull you into their cycle of negativity without offering any support in return. So, what can you do? It's important to encourage them to take responsibility for their own actions and decisions. Sometimes, these relatives need to hear that they can't always rely on others to fix their problems. Gently remind them that they have the power to change their situation, but change starts with them. Don't feed into the drama by playing the role of the rescuer every time something goes wrong. Set boundaries, be supportive but firm, and make it clear that you want to help them move forward, not keep them stuck in a victim mindset. By encouraging self-reliance and emotional growth, you can protect your peace while still offering support in a healthier way. The unpredictable relative is another one to watch out for as you age. These individuals are completely inconsistent in their behavior. One minute, they're warm, supportive, and loving, making you feel on top of the world. The next, they're cold, distant, or even downright hostile, leaving you wondering what went wrong. Their mood swings or fluctuating behavior can leave you constantly guessing about where you stand with them, creating confusion and emotional stress. The effect of this unpredictability on your life can be unsettling. You never know whether you're going to have a friendly, comforting conversation or a tense, uncomfortable exchange. This emotional roller coaster can lead to anxiety as you're always walking on eggshells, trying to avoid saying or doing the wrong thing. The unpredictability can also make you feel like you're putting in all this effort to connect, only to be met with disinterest or even rejection, which can be emotionally exhausting. To preserve your emotional well-being, it's best to limit interactions with these relatives. While it's important to be there for family, you don't have to subject yourself to emotional turmoil every time you interact with someone unpredictable. Keep a safe distance when you can and don't try to chase after them or figure out why they're being distant. Instead, focus on the people who bring stability and positivity into your life. Setting clear boundaries with unpredictable relatives can help you maintain peace of mind and prevent unnecessary stress in your later years. The guilt-tripping relative is another type to be cautious of as you age. These individuals have a knack for making you feel like you're never doing enough for them. No matter how much you give, they subtly or overtly try to make you feel guilty for not offering more of your time, money, or energy. They use your sense of obligation to manipulate you into doing what they want, whether through passive-aggressive comments, guilt-laden statements, or guilt-driven actions. They often create a sense of responsibility that prioritizes their needs over your well-being. The impact of a guilt-tripping relative can be both emotional and physical. Over time, their constant demands can leave you feeling overburdened and exhausted as you try to meet their expectations and fulfill their needs. This manipulation can lead to feelings of guilt, resentment, and even burnout. You might find yourself sacrificing your own happiness or well-being just to avoid feeling bad about not doing enough for them. Worse yet, you may begin to feel that no matter what you do, it's never enough. The key to dealing with a guilt-tripping relative is setting firm boundaries. It's important to recognize that you're not responsible for their happiness or for solving all their problems. When they try to manipulate your emotions, don't allow them to dictate your choices or actions. Be clear about what you can and can't do, and don't feel obligated to give more than you're comfortable with. Saying no isn't selfish, it's a way to protect your own peace and ensure you're not being taken advantage of. Remember, healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not emotional manipulation. The take relative is one of the most draining family members you could encounter, especially as you grow older. This person constantly takes from you, whether it's your time, money, or energy, and never gives anything in return. You might find yourself constantly helping, supporting, or giving to them, but they rarely, if ever, offer any assistance, appreciation, or care for your well-being. They know how to ask for what they need, but you'll hardly ever see them show gratitude or return the favor. What's truly shocking about this type of relative is that you may not realize it until it's too late. You might feel compelled to help them, thinking it's just part of being a supportive family member, but over time, their constant demands can take a serious toll on your life. It can become so ingrained that you don't even notice how much they're draining from you until you're completely depleted, both physically and emotionally. Their selfish behavior can lead you to neglect your own needs while prioritizing theirs. In the end, you're left feeling exhausted, taken for granted, and resentful. The effect of the take relative is significant. They deplete your resources, whether it's your time, energy, or finances, and take advantage of your kindness and willingness to help. It's easy to feel guilty for not doing enough, but this pattern of behavior is harmful in the long run. To protect yourself, it's crucial to recognize this behavior early and set boundaries. Don't let them manipulate you into sacrificing your own well-being for their benefit. Distancing yourself from them, even if it's hard, is essential to preserve your peace and avoid being taken advantage of. You deserve relationships that are reciprocal, where support and kindness flow both ways. The judgmental relative is one of the most toxic people you can have in your life, especially as you age. These family members are constantly judging your choices, lifestyle, or decisions, often making you feel like you're not living up to their expectations. Whether it's your career, your relationships, your health, or how you choose to spend your time, they always have something to criticize. No matter what you do, it's never good enough for them. Their criticism might be subtle or overt, but either way, it can leave you feeling inferior, like you're constantly walking around with a target on your back. The impact of a judgmental relative can be deeply damaging. Over time, their constant scrutiny can lead to self-doubt and low self-esteem. You may start to question your own choices, wondering if you're doing something wrong just because they disapprove. This kind of negativity can make you feel inadequate and less confident in your abilities, leading to unnecessary stress and even depression. The judgmental comments may start to creep into your thoughts, clouding your sense of self-worth and making it harder to enjoy your life. The best way to handle a judgmental relative is to remind yourself that their opinions say more about them than about you. Often, judgmental people are projecting their own insecurities or personal issues onto others, using criticism as a way to feel better about themselves. Don't internalize their negativity. Limit exposure to them whenever possible and remember that you don't need their approval to live your life. Setting boundaries with these relatives, whether it's limiting conversations about certain topics or minimizing your time with them, can help protect your mental health. Focus on building relationships with those who uplift and support you, and don't let anyone's judgment hold you back from living authentically.